Hello there everyone, Dark out here and welcome back to some more playing with subscriber crafts after almost 2 years as well. And here we have Confucius. Yes, the Chinese philosopher has been reincarnated as Normal69's one of long-range artillery supports. I tried to match his colors as close as possible because he built it on a fleet colors. Please guys, if you submit, please try to not build in fleet colors. It is a massive headache for me, but I do believe from his image that he sent, I did reproduce his colors. So Confucius, look at that. And I do believe that the reduction of, oh my god, oh okay, I remember why I reduced them. This oceanic sound is not good. Is there all three? Is that all three options we have? We cannot reduce the oceanic sounds and stuff. That is weird. But look at this. We have a few missiles, we have a few APSs, we have a few propellers on an airship. Because yes, you saw that right. That is not an accident. This thing goes in submarine mode when it gets too close to the enemy. So let's see. Let's go spawn in a Marauder. So now there's that Marauder, right? And the Marauder, we are gonna go a bit far. I think it's 1600 meters where the Confucius doesn't go into submarine mode. So I think that is good enough, right? I have no idea of the distances in this game, but Confucius, let us see you spawn. And the Confucius is gonna go ahead towards the Marauder. Are you shooting? Oh, I might have been holding the weapons the whole time. Alright, that was my bad, but look at that. It is shooting. What is it shooting? Jesus. What's that? That's an active sonar? Oh, is that a railgun? That is a railgun. It is shooting a railgun through the craft. Oh my god, okay, that's the railgun, isn't it? Haha, formidable. That's 225 gauge APS that is shooting towards the Marauder. Kaboom, 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 kaboom. What shells are you shooting, my friend? That looks like heat. Hesh, I have no idea what that shell is, but that is indeed a super cap shell, just because this thing is gonna go into, oh, there's way more shells coming towards this guy, isn't it? Where are all those APS? We'll have to inspect it more. And the Marauder shoots a cram. Is it gonna? Nope, it's not gonna reach the Confucius. I don't think it is gonna reach the Confucius. No way it is gonna reach the Confucius. Oh, those APSs are from these quad simple weapons, aren't they? Yes, they indeed are. So now, the Confucius is going forward, going backward. It is keeping its distance from the Marauder while bombarding it constantly with APS. I think it is a perfect evasion craft which keeps... Oh, I did not realize that many shells were being lobbed at this thing. And as you guys saw, once it gets too close to the Marauder, it will probably... Well, let's spawn in another Confucius, right? Destroy all crafts. That's the Marauder. And if we spawn in a Confucius here, let's pause in the time, right? Let's spawn in another Confucius here, and we are not gonna hold its weapons. Let's see what happens. The Confucius goes into submarine mode and keeps bombarding the Marauder with its railguns and simple weapons. Look at that. Look at that. It silently, through the depths of the water, kills the Marauder little by little. Alright, let us go inspect the craft and we will pitch the Confucius against something worthwhile later down the line. Alright, Mr. Confucius. What have you for us? Let us go ahead, inspect the internals of this thing. Let us see. Holy craft. Is this thing completely made out of Light alloys. Yes, this thing is completely made out of light alloys with some heavy armor near the imported components, right? So, let's see. This is the APS. This is the main railgun APS. It is covered in the front with 16 meters of metal. Wow, Jesus. And in the side is covered with 2 meters of metal and 5 meters of light alloy. Isn't this thing a bit ridiculous? And I think there's even air gap in between, but I think that is because of this thruster, huge jet engine, to get the desired space in between. Look at that, it even has thrusters inside it. Holy crap. So this thing is completely protected from anything ever, and I thought that would be a part of the thingy, but that is apparently just the resource ring going through it. But look at that, it has internal thruster, completely protected thrusters, and any part of it is not exposed. It's just a giant block. Even these fans and stuff are covered with these vents, which of course I did not know exist, and your stuff can go through these vents, so you can indeed have armored thrusters like that. So I'm gonna use that in my next Niger campaign craft as well. But we are here to know about the Chinese philosopher, and we are gonna look at what these are. These are the duck blocks with EMP protection around them and a lot of internal deadly blades. Here's a teleporter pad for some reason. Why would you need a teleporter pad? And why is that an image of, oh, that's an image of Neater as a whole, so it implies that here's an LCD screen to look out of the craft through cameras, I suppose, right? Alright, that is intelligent in the way he has decorated this thing. And then there is the rails with of course RTGs, because they are the most efficient thing in the game if you can protect them properly, and I think I will someday use RTGs as well. RTGs, repair bots, completely electrical powered, I would guess. Yes, I think this thing is completely electrical powered because I do not see a single fuel engine part, but it has steam power though, and that also is generating electricity, not directly engine power, and this thing is running on 5,000 engine power. That is impressive. Ammo storage, a lot of it. What is the ammo storage protected with? There we go, the ammo storage is protected. Where's the ammo storage? Jesus, there's so much armoring in this thing. Ammo storage is protected with heavy armor and then an insanely thick layer of light armor and mixed metal. Look at this thing. It is armored from all the way possible. So now, if we move forward to the weapons, where is the main weapon? That will be the railgun. Hello? All this armor is making me a bit... It can even harvest resources. Of course it can even harvest resources. It's like the cookie cutter kind of thing. It can do everything, right? Normal? It can do everything. So now we have 225 millimeter gauge. Shoots at about 48.5 RPM, or does it? Well, it uses 800 energy per shot, 8% of which goes into buffing the accuracy of the thing. Shoots at about 63 per minute, and desired gauge is 400, but the thing is, it can only support up to 225 millimeter per barrel, and that is fine. This is a railgun charger, very good with RTGs and a cargo container. Jesus, this is such a bare bone designs, but yet a very effective design. Like, look at that, guys. There is not much complexity to it, and these are 1 meter autoloaders, not the belt-fed autoloaders, and these are doing squash head nose cones. Yes, of course it's squash head. I thought it would be squash head. Squash heads are awesome. Where's the ammo controller though? Let me go ahead and find it. There it is, right behind the AI. What are you gonna be? Frag warhead body, super cavitation base, HE warhead body, shape char secondary, squash head with no casing, not railgun, not gunpowder whatsoever, and we are to expect a muzzle velocity of 368 meters per second from that. Are we getting 368 meters per second? What is the velocity of the shells? We are getting 335 meters per second from using that shell with a railgun, and I think that is awesome. Super cavitation base, fragate warhead body, HE warhead body, shape charged, and a shape charged secondary, and a squash head. Does that even work like that? There's a squash head, so it's HESH, it's heat, it's frag, it's super cav. That's the weirdest looking shell that I've ever seen. I started with normal crafts because I knew I would start with some weirdness with normal crafts. They're always a bit weird, they're always a bit effective. And there are so many ACB blocks that I don't even know what they even do. I don't know what that 60 thing is, but I do believe all of these ACBs contribute to the behavior of this thing, that if the enemy is below 1600 meters, go ahead and be a submarine. If the enemy is above 1600 meters, go forward and backwards towards it so it cannot hit you properly and it cannot do much. But look at that. That's all there is to the Confucius. There are some large gantry torpedoes with a regulator, radar, target simulator, ballast tank, and a radar target simulator. What? Okay. Where is the propeller? Emits radio waves that attract radar-guided missiles. So these are decoys. These are decoys for radar missiles. That is awesome. But I also do believe there were torpedoes as well, and I do believe the small gantry ones are gonna be these are gigantic missiles. For us. Look at the size of them. Well, not gigantic, long needle-like missiles, right? So small gantry missiles with a variable thruster and a secondary torpedo propeller because amphibious craft, right? Then 3 fins, 3 fuel tanks, remote guidance, APN's guidance, regulators, ballast tanks, and a lot of explosive warhead with a shaped charged head. Okay, this thing completely rips apart your internals, is what I'm guessing, because every single weapon this thing has is meant to rip apart your internals. It's a craft gutter, I would say. It even has repair units, guys. How crazy is this thing? There we go. There's a material gatherer, and it has no holes below it. It just has a recoil absorber below it, and I do believe it might still work. Otherwise, why would it put there? Look at that. This thing. Nothing much to review about it, but so much to review about it. Now let us go ahead and pitch it against some real crafts and not just the legendary Marauder. Oh, guys, holy crap! All right, I never knew about this, but this is not a fixed image. Oh, well. But this is not a fixed image, guys. Look at this. What the? This is actually a live feed. This actually is a live feed of what is out there. Look at that. If I leave in the we don't activate the tractor beam. Look at that. This is an actual live feed. What? Oof. Oh, water. What is happening in here? Is it not oh, it's a live feed from this thing. Oh my god, what? I did not know that is possible. Allows remote viewing of the player. Yes, so that is indeed something new in the game. That is awesome. Well, and I think that is all there is to this craft, right? It doesn't have any shield, not that I have found of. Let's recheck. It does not seem to be having any shields. Well, might be wrong, but what is this? Oh, this is the hologram projectors for writing Confucius to the sides. But this does not have any of the shieldings around it. So that's all its defense is the ridiculous amounts of armoring it has. It has a few rams in the front. I don't know why. Probably because of decoration. Because I don't think it ever goes and rams the enemy. It even has a lamb. Now that I notice that, it has lambs on it. Has the detection system, active sonar, but it has a lamb on it. Why does it have a lamb on it? How is the lamb on it? Well, I know why it does have a lamb on it, because it's a front-facing craft, right? It will always face the enemy. But I think that that's it. That's one laser cavity and one laser pump. That is the actual lamb system. I thought that was a laser receiver for a second there, because I have never seen a lamb system this tiny. Power needed 30, sustained damage per second 22, 1 AP. Yes, this is a pretty weak lamb, but I think he just put it there just in case it destroys a shell or two. Right? Ha 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 ha, guys! Remember this massive monstrosity? Yes, of course you guys remember. Do you not? Do you not? Do you not? Alright, let's shoot you, Confucius, with pure AP. That is gonna be 1 AP shot. That went through that pretty fast. And oh, alright, that's I think that is good enough RPM, but look at that. Even an 8-meter pure AP is not doing much to this craft. And it is managing to repair its way out of it. Look at that! A pure AP craft going through. Yeah, what is this? That's 51 AP. No wonder the APS is not going through that. Pure AP not going through that thin armoring. What is in this part? What is in this part? Nada. Nada. These APSs used to go through a whole thick fair. Now they're not though. But with that fire rate of 8-meter APSs, and it's reloading now. Look at that, it managed to repair itself back. Pure AP was pretty ineffective against the Confucius. Just look at that. One layer at a time it's peeling off, and then it's not even hitting at the same place because yes, the APS inaccuracies have gone up, but look at that. Now finally that one APS managed to go through that a little, but the Confucius is healing faster than this APS can damage it, right? So I think that is good enough. 8-meter heat shells, pretty dangerous to look at. Look at those monstrosities. But will the Confucius be able to survive against a barrage? Well, a lot slower barrage than before. But the Confucius has not repaired that one probably because I think that was just damaged. Look at that. That is freaking 55 AP. But nonetheless, let's start with heat in the front. Let's see what happens. There. Heat is hitting that, and the heat is proving to be pretty devastating to the Confucius because the heat shrapnels are going through the front. Lightly armored for Confucius levels, and it is damaging this thing a lot more. But the internals in this thing are not that damaged, and I think it's just superficial damage. Way more damage than the AP managed to do, but that is still a bit of superficial damage, isn't it? Look at that. And now let's go ahead and shoot heat in here, because the heat in the front, what happened is it hit here, it went through here, damaged pretty rudimentary stuff, and didn't damage this thing at all. But will the Confucius be able to handle heat in its main part? Look at that. Is the heat doing anything? Is the heat doing anything to this thing? We have no idea, but once the heat bombardment stops, we will look about that. The heat is exploding on top of the armor, peeling off the armor a little, but the real damage must be getting done inside it. But I don't think so. That amount of heat, I think with that amount of armor around the Confucius, the heat is not going anywhere. There is no heat coming on the other side. There's no heat coming even in these parts, in the like insides and stuff. So I do believe, yes, the Confucius passes the heat test. But let us go ahead. Let's shoot a few hash on it. Oh my god, that is wow. I love the sound. I love the sound of it. I love the sound of it. Look, let's hear to that, guys. Oof, 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 oof. That does sound like artillery. Ho ho! I did not know they improved the APS sounds by that much. But now, hash for you, Mr. Confucius. Let us see what the hash does. And the hash is doing way better than the heat. The hash is managing to throw out a lot more shrapnel than the heat was managing to, and is managing to damage the Confucius armor by a lot more than the heat was actually doing. But the front of the Confucius taking the hash like a champ. But hash shrapnels are blue, aren't they? What are these yellow shrapnels being thrown off? Look at that. Hash is the first kind of shells that manage to go through the Wolverine levels of repair on the Confucius, right? It is still having Wolverine levels of repair, but hash is the first kind of shell that absolutely managed to shred this part and throw off a few shrapnel into the insides as well. Hash into the main part of the Confucius. Kablam! Confucius, hash is coming for you, and I do believe the hash is gonna be the first one to actually put a dent on the Confucius in this parts as well. Look at that, the hash going in, but I do not think the hash is throwing any kind of shrapnel inside, because I don't think any internal is being damaged. Nope. Frag shells coming into the front of the Confucius. Let us see what. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus. Frag melted this thing. Frag melted this thing. I repeat, guys. Confucius is not frag proof at all. Look at that. Frag completely managed to melt in the Confucius. Look at that. The heavy armoring scheme of the Confucius does not stand against frag. Look at that. Repair that, Confucius. Repair that. Alright, a brand new Confucius. Get ready to be shot with some frags to your side. Let's see what the frag does. The Confucius has Wolverine levels of capabilities of healing, but I don't think it is gonna stand a chance against frag. Yes, it is healing much faster because it's a brand new Confucius, but the amount of stuff that is getting shot off from each frag shell, I don't think it is gonna keep up the healing for much long. But look at the healing power of this thing. This thing must. Ooh, and there goes the AI. There goes the AI, because that was the enemy simulator that got shot off. Okay, Confucius absolutely failed the frag test because of its absence of shields, but now it has repaired itself. That was awesome. The first thing that managed to go through the Confucius is a freaking. Oh, Jesus! Sometimes the shells are pretty inaccurate. You were not supposed to hit this thing, though. And again, frag completely melting through the freaking Confucius. Philosophy doesn't work against frag spam, does it, Confucius? It doesn't. It doesn't at all. Look at that. The frag doesn't care about the amount of armor it has. Jesus. It's creating holes inside it. Oh my god, I forgot to turn off the guns of a Confucius. before, like after I did the enemy simulator thing. Holy shit, just one missile inside this platform absolutely manages to melt it. They made APS way more explosive now, didn't they? Look at that. Alright, Mr. Confucius, you are gonna get shot by EMP. Jeez, my ears. Alright. Huh. Wait, hold up. Is that a local weapon controller? That was one EMP shell, Confucius. That is not good. That is not good. Confucius. What? Alright, let's see. Oof. And the EMP traveled through the whole ship. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Yep. Nah. EMP does a number on Confucius. Confucius, I repeat, is not EMP proof. Look at that. Let's shoot this part. Yeah, that's not correct. Confucius. Yes. Oof. That's a lot of thing that is getting shot off you, Confucius. Like the local weapon controllers and stuff, they are absolutely getting demolished by the EMP. Yes, the Confucius can repair them pretty fast, but look at that. The heavy armor is just falling off from inside. Confucius, you absolutely failed the EMP test. The most fun one. Let us see. The grav ram. Let us release it. And let us shoot the Confucius with some grav ram. Let's see what happens. Well, we're gonna completely miss for the most part because Confucius is going underwater. Okay, but the Confucius is coming out now. Are we gonna shoot you? That's disappointing. Yes. I need to... Ooh, the grav rams are not doing anything. Even the ones that are hitting, they are not doing much against the Confucius. Did they nerf the grav rams? Oh, that is gonna be so bad. Why did you have to nerf the grav rams, devs? They used to be so fun. Alright, dear Confucius, let's start with Heavy Head. Let's see what Heavy Head does to the front of you. Whew. The first one got deleted by the lambs, but the next ones are going straight through a lot of stuff and doing way more damage than the side plates, right? So Heavy Head is still doing a bit of the damage to the Confucius, but nothing the Confucius cannot really heal, right? Look at that. Look at that. Doing quite a bit of damage, not much. Oh, those are the era armor blowing up, aren't they? Yes, the era armor is blowing up, and the Confucius is not able to heal all that much. So, front of the Confucius is kind of the vulnerable part. Although, it is supposed to be the place you take all your things, Confucius. Well, front of the Confucius did not pass even the AP test. I fear for you, Confucius. I fear for you. I definitely fear for you, Confucius. That's a lot of parts that fell off. Well, never mind. We are pitching the Confucius against the Crossbones, and let's see what happens with it, right? We're gonna throw the Confucius a bit far away from the Crossbones. Let us go spawn in the Confucius, and the Confucius will right away start shooting at the Crossbones with passion. It is shooting its main battery shells, it is shooting its simple APSs, while the Crossbones is trying to aerially bombard the Confucius, while the Confucius for some reason wants to drink water. I don't know why the Confucius is failing on its flying part, and the Confucius has not done anything to the Crossbones yet. At least that's what I'm predicting. Yes, absolutely no amounts of damage to the Crossbones, but for some reason, look at that. The red shells are kind of flak shells. Even though they miss, they do blow up very close to the target, so that is that. Like, look at that. It blows up very close to the target, and the Confucius is indeed now starting to do some damage to the craft, since Confucius managed to get above the water, but that amount of crab heading towards the Confucius, it's not nice. If Confucius gets hit by any single one of them, it is gonna be gone. And the Confucius is managing to shoot off a few shells with its lamps, right? And yeah, the very unpredictable moment of the Confucius has enabled it that the Confucius is not taking any damage at all, but the frag shells from the crossbones is still coming close, and they're blowing up in here. Is that the lamps doing it? Is that anything on the Confucius making the frag APS blow up close to it? I don't know, but all I know is, yeah, I think it is the lamps, isn't it? Or maybe that's how the crossbones APSs are meant to be detonated in front of something, but the cramps are missing. The cramps of the crossbones are missing heavily, and I think that's due to the part because of how erratically and sporadically the Confucius moves. Let's assess the damage on the crossbones from the Confucius. The Confucius is constantly shooting at the crossbones, and the damage is not negligible. Look at that. The APSs from the Confucius are coming in consistently. Even the EMP and wow, that the rockets had EMP in it? I never noticed, but the APSs are still coming in, still doing little by little damages on the crossbones. Not enough to cripple the crossbones, but still enough to be a bit noticeable. Although the Confucius' damage output is very low, the Confucius, I think it is meant to be a craft that is so annoying that you can never hit it. Look at that, the Confucius consistently continuing to hit the freaking oh, and that was a terrible hit on the Confucius. One cram hit to the face, and the Confucius, I think at this point is gonna go down, but then I remember Confucius is a goddamn Wolverine, so it is gonna be soon out of the water, because yeah, it is meant to go out of the water. Once it touches the water doesn't mean it cannot fly anymore, because it's it's an amphibious craft, so yes, it has gained height again. Confucius starting to shoot again, taking a few cram shots here and there, but Confucius confusing the shit out of crossbones, and its crossbones like, what the hell? I landed one heavy shot in it, and the Confucius is out and running again. That is crazy. That is, ooh, the Confucius taking a few cram shots here and there. But the thing is, I think the Confucius wins this round, because eventually the crossbones is gonna get destroyed, but not really though. The damage isn't that great. This is one of those battles which is gonna go on forever, because the crossbones is not able to hit the Confucius because of how weirdly it moves, and the Confucius takes a few damage, heals it. It just heals it instantly and keeps shooting at the crossbone. What kind of damage the Confucius is doing to the crossbones? The one thing about the crossbones is that yes, the Confucius shoots EMP, but the crossbones is completely EMP proof. It has so much wood, you can do nothing to it with the EMP. But the damage over time from the Confucius is starting to stack up. Look at that. That part is gone. A few frags here and there from the Confucius, a few hesh and heat here and there, and the main battery is doing a bit of a dent on the crossbones. It is starting to show, but what got shot? Is it the crossbow? Ooh, all the torpedoes and stuff have shaved off the bottoms of the crossbones, but was the slow motion because something important got knocked off of the crossbones, or something important got knocked off the Confucius? Nope, the Confucius is still going, guys. It's like, keep shooting. Confucius is like, nope, you can damage me, I'm gonna heal it. You can damage me again, I'm gonna heal it again. But the crossbones does not have the Wolverine capabilities, so I think if I let this battle run for a while, Confucius is gonna come victorious, because ooh, that was that was a big damage. That was one of the APS is being completely annihilated. Alright. I think at this point it is safe to say that the Confucius is slowly winning against the crossbone. I'm impressed, Normal. A craft like that winning against a craft like this. Wow, and it isn't even that expensive. If you look at it, Confucius is only 3596 blocks and only costs 125k moterials with 11,000 in the container, so it is not that expensive as well. Yeah, 450k frag damage and 450k explosive damage was the status from Confucius to the third. I mean crossbones. But I just revealed what I'm gonna put it against next. Hello, Ter. How are you? Long time no see. Have you fixed your third turret? I think so. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna pitch you against a Confucius. Yet again. Bring in the Confucius! The Confucius starts shooting right away at the There, but holy crap. Those gigantic APSs from the There and those ridiculous amounts of rockets from the There. I don't think the Confucius is gonna survive that shit. What the hell is this? And then, yeah, these harpooned decoys, guys, look at that. The decoys stay in a single place. They're harpooned and they look amazing, but oh my god. The There is gonna absolutely annihilate the Confucius, isn't it? Ah, poor Confucius. Confucius still moving philosophically towards the thing, but ooh. The Confucius is making weird noises at this point. Oh my gods. Oh my gods. Oh, brutal. I cannot look at that. The Confucius managed to survive that though. It even, due to how weirdly it moves, is managing to dodge all the shots from all the freaking main batteries of the There. But one thing I'm noticing, those missiles are not coming near the Confucius, because I think it is the radar decoy system on the Confucius that is keeping the missiles away, isn't it? Look at that, the missiles coming in towards the Confucius, the missiles getting distracted by the decoys, and the missiles going into the water. Holy crap. A few missiles still managing to come towards the Confucius though, and that is, I think, the There has so overwhelming amounts of offense that even all those tactics like employed by the There is not working against the Confucius. That I think all the tactics to counter the There that the Confucius is so dearly dispensing is not working. The Confucius sounds in constant agony. Something keeps blowing up on this thing. It's like the There is imploding the Confucius from inside out. That is not correct. I think it's all the distracted missiles that keep blowing up on the Confucius from down below. Confucius is down into the water while the There is like, haha, bitch. I'm gonna look at those harpooned decoys. I love those. Look at this thing. It's just the There comes packed in with, like, I think the There's motto here is, if the enemy is moving idiotically and I cannot hit it, throw enough shit at it. Something is gonna stick and something is gonna kill the Confucius. And I think with that, I unfortunately have to declare the There as a victor. But then it's a goddamn There, guys. I think There might cost it's probably gonna cost 1 million materials at this moment. The fact that the Confucius held that long against a There is a testament to it. So I like the Confucius a lot, but the Confucius can counter a lot of stuff. The Confucius cannot counter is too much stuff being thrown at it. Look at this thing.